Thank you very much, President. You know, you are absolutely right that you forget about comparative advantage when it's not in your advantage. And part of what has happened precisely now with the industrial policy that you were talking about, that many of them are protectionist policies. And what we have been saying, and you are absolutely right, is that, you know, the rich countries are doing industrial policy with subsidies. But for us, in the developing countries, that we don't have the fiscal space to do industrial policy through subsidies is very difficult because we don't have the possibility to do that. So we need other instruments to do it. And we put the example of Indonesia, that with the nickel put the rule that you cannot export raw nickel. You will need to add value, yes? And they took that decision, and it really benefited their economy. But they were took to the WTO arbitration because it's against the rules of a treaty that was negotiated very long ago, that is TRIMS. And so through that treaty, you cannot put that rule. It's against the WTO rule of TRIMS. And what we say is then we need to change also, or to revise, rules that we created then that are not fit for purpose today. And if we will have a multilateral system based on universal standards and norms, it will be better than every country putting their own protectionist or their own rules. But the problem is that the developing countries don't have the rules working for them to be able to add value and to produce, to insert themselves in better supply chains in the market, as you said. And this is possible to discuss. We need to put this in the table precisely to add value. And I think that here Africa has a huge advantage with the revolution of the transition to renewable energy because of the raw materials that many of the countries have, where the reserves are here. So, you know, we have to think precisely what you did, you know, to think historically what we have done right and where we can do better, do different, to be able to produce with a comparative advantage that we don't have now.
Thank you. I have a simpler explanation. I studied economics at a Western university, and we're still taught it. Innocent minds are told this is a wonderful thing for everybody and everyone benefits from it. When you grow up, you understand that comparative advantage means do as I say, not what I do, which is what most Western economies have done to actually develop over the last 100 years. So this is the way I interpret that. So thank you all very much for these opening remarks, which I think set the stage for a wider discussion on the challenges that we are facing in the context of South-South economic cooperation. We have to change the order of the stage now and allow our esteemed guests to leave. I think they would like to take a photograph of you all before we do change the ordering of the stage. And I should also, before I forget, remind everyone that we have, after the event this evening, we do have dinner in the building here, which you are all welcome to. So once again, please, an applause for the presentations this afternoon.